Welcome back, Newport Gulls pregame show. Tolan Vaccaro here alongside Keene Swamp Bat broadcaster Tommy Rezach. It's time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Tommy, good to have you here at Cardines Field.
Yeah, great to be here in Newport, Rhode Island. It's our last trip in the Southern Division, last road trip of the regular season. So yeah, great to be out here.
So last time I saw Tommy, we were up in Keene, New Hampshire, close to my hometown. It was the Swamp Bats who took that game in 11 innings. It was a pitching duel, and they seem to be cruising since then. Kind of been back and forth of a season. What's happened since that point?
Yeah, it's been a really roller coaster ride in the month of July, that's for sure. Keene, they went the month of July when they lost to Valley on Independence Eve. That's kind of when things started going bad. Keene was in last place, seemed to be surely out of the playoffs entering this week, and now all of a sudden the Swamp Bats have won 3 of their last 4. They won only their second road game in the month of July last night up in Upper Valley, an 8-5 win, and that win has thrust them into relevance in this playoff race as we go forward. So really, the month of July was not good. 7-18 that month, but somehow the Swamp Bats are only a half game out of the playoff picture. The game that the Swamp Bats will be keeping their eye on, or at least the Swamp Bat media and fans, Winnipesaukee is up at the Valley Blue Sox tonight. So if Winnipesaukee wins and Keene falls tonight, their season is over. So Keene quite literally playing for their lives here in Newport.
Well, you mentioned they thought that they were pretty much out of it since they've rattled off those 3 wins in succession. And have you noticed a change in the vibe among the players?
Not a significant change, no. I mean, when things got bad, Keene lost 4 in a row dating back to last week, and you started to question, this late in the year, guys were getting hurt, guys were going home. You start to question, how much do they really want to be here? But now you kind of get the sense that maybe they do. I mean, Dom Yero's bat has really heated up. Jack Marock's on an 8-game hitting streak. Ryan Costello, I think he's batted upwards of 400 in his last 5 games alone. So I don't know. I don't know if the vibe or the attitude has really changed from what I've seen, but one thing I've just really seen is just the batting has really heated up. But the bullpen is still depleted. I mean, Keene had a 7-0 lead against the Sanford Mainers the other night. It was tied at 7 after 7 innings, and then last night, 4-0 lead, and it ended up being a tie ball game after 6 innings. So the starting pitching's been there, maybe not as strong as when Tommy Doyle was here, but starting pitching's been there. Bats are really heating up, but that bullpen still really shaky. Keene needs some good innings out of the starter, Zach Hart, tonight.
Well, it feels like shaky bullpens have been the story of the season for a lot of teams here in the NECBL. I guess, Tommy, just tell our fans back home, those listening from Keene, a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into broadcasting.
Yeah, so I come from a long land far away from Lincoln, Nebraska. I grew up on a farm just outside of there in a little town called Valparaiso. I'll be a senior at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, majoring in broadcasting, emphasis in sports communications. And I got to say, the way I got into broadcasting was the Nebraska Cornhuskers, growing up cheering for them, watching them, listening to the guys on the radio. I guess that's what really got it started, and always watched NFL, Major League Baseball growing up. And I was kind of the outcast of my family. I was the only sports-minded guy, so I kind of just chased that through my childhood, and UNL has some really wonderful resources out there in Lincoln, and being a part of the Big Ten's been really exciting. So that's kind of how I got involved with broadcasting, with the great facilities there. And one day I just hope to do some play-by-play broadcasting for a living. I also host my own radio show on the UNL radio station, so anything like that. I really have a inkling for radio, but I've done a little bit of TV before as well. So yeah, anywhere that will pay me to talk sports, maybe do some play-by-play, and do what I love. Anywhere that will pay me, I'll go there.
Well, having only done 1 game with you, I have no doubts you'll succeed. I look forward to another game up in the booth with you, Tommy. That'll do it for today's Broadcasters Roundtable. We have much more yet to come here on the Newport Gulls pregame show.